nutrition class on stabilizing metabolic functions. This is probably my favorite because this is the intro to the entire nutrition course. I circle back around. I do this one more often than I do any of the other ones because the information that is in this is must-know info. All right. Everything else we've talked about with actual food choices, macronutrients, calories, different types of dieting, all that stuff can accelerate your results. But this is going to actually be talking about the basic foundational elements of what is going to start making your body able to get weight loss, fat burning results. All right. Your metabolic functions are all on a scale. They have fast or high levels. They have slow or low levels, and they can vary in between. We can do things to speed them up, slow them down, to spike them, to create a peak or a valley. We're going to talk about how to stabilize all of those functions, because when you have stability, you have control, and your body feels comfortable enough to let go of the unnecessary and unwanted. Okay? Similar to when your bank account is stable, you feel good, you're okay with going out and spending a little bit of money. When it's not stable, you don't want to get rid of nothing, right? You're keeping all that to yourself. So our bodies work very similarly with body fat. We got to make sure everything is stable and get the results we want. First part is hydration. All right, so these black circles that you got here, those are fat cells. You can see in comparison to the blue circles, which are water cells, they are quite a bit bigger. They're about 4 times more dense. Fat is a pretty big molecule there. And then those little blue lines coming off of the fat molecules, those are going to represent electron bonds. All right, those are extra electrons. Each fat cell has 3 extra electrons and circling around that cell. Now, it can either bond onto identical structures, or you see those other fat cells built around that center one. And as long as you're doing the wrong things, you're drinking sodas, you're eating fast food, you're not working out, not drinking water, yeah, that'll continue to grow and grow and grow. And that's how we gain weight, right? We got to reverse this process. So hydrolysis is the breakdown of a molecule or compound due to its reaction with water. Hydrolysis is what we want. All right, so if you get a little bit hydrated, that does start the process of hydrolysis. However, it's not going to spark any change in your body. All right, the more hydrated we get, it is going to be harder for your body to gain weight, because now look, we've already cut off 3 of these bonding sites where fat could have continued to grow. So it's going to make it harder. We've already limited half the amount of fat gain that we had that was possible. All right. However, nothing is really happening to make us lose weight. It's getting harder and harder to gain, harder and harder to gain. But when we finally get to full hydrolysis, complete hydration, all right, for most people, this is between 100 ounces of water and 128, aka 1 gallon of water. All right. Can you throw me that pen right there? Now what happens, this is obviously, I'm gonna use this pen cap as my fat molecule. All right, my hands are the water, magic. So you got this fat molecule and it is sitting right here on your love handle. All right, this fat's just chilling. You want it to go away. So you add a little bit of water. Problem is you got a little bit of water down here, but your brain can still see all this fat. So you add a little bit more water. You're kind of hydrated. All right, you're right here. But your brain can still see that fat there, and this whole conglomeration here, this isn't going anywhere. Your brain knows that's fat there. Until you get 100% hydrated. All right, you surround 3-dimensionally that fat molecule of water. Look, you cannot see that, right? Your brain cannot register that fat being there. Then your brain's gonna go, what did I do? Why did I do that? That's not supposed to be sitting there. That's water. That's supposed to be on your small intestine right now. So it's gonna pull that whole thing out, put it where it's supposed to be in the small intestine. Your small intestine walls, all right, will then absorb that water. It's gonna take that water out. It's gonna use it elsewhere in the body. You're gonna go to the restroom, some of that'll leave, and then it'll send some of that water to other cells in the body if they need it. And then you're left with a little bit of body fat sitting in your small intestine. Anybody know what happens with that? Good. I'm gonna tell y'all. It burns as energy. Your body absorbs that body fat the same way it would avocado or peanut butter fat, and it converts those calories into energy through a process, and you get fat burning. All right, that is only possible if you are fully hydrated. Can't happen halfway hydrated, 64 ounces of water a day. It can't happen at 80. Maybe it'll happen at like 96, 100 ounces or more, right there. That's what you need. You might got questions about hydration or water. All right, y'all, moving on. A little bit of extra knowledge here. Your kidneys don't function properly, which means that you have a harder time actually metabolizing fat when you're dehydrated. That's basically everything I just explained. Your enzyme function, which is going to slow your metabolism down whenever you don't have as much of this lipase created, and lipase is what's in charge of metabolizing fat or burning it. So again, not going to happen. Your HGH production majorly slows down, which is going to leave you with more fat gain, less fat burning, and less muscle retention, less strength, less energy. And lastly, your cognitive function. Your brain does rely heavily on being at least, 80% hydrated? Oh, too far. If you're just 2% under 80% hydrated, that can cause a 30% lack of cognitive function. That means you get foggy. You can think 30% less clear if you are just 2% dehydrated, right? Most people, when they start here, are somewhere between 20 and 30% dehydrated beyond past 80%. So that means that we're really drinking half the water we should be. So we feel like crap. Drink that water, feel better, and start to get some results. All right, so that's one metabolic function, is hydration, right? We're gonna talk about exercise intensity next. All right, this has a whole lot of different metabolic functions in it, but we're gonna talk about how to make sure that you are burning the right type of calories while you're working out. I know several of y'all have already heard this. We're gonna go over it again, all right? So right here, when we're resting, that's the state I'm in right now, all right? I'm not really doing much over here, I'm just talking. Resting, 60% of my calories are burning from fat. 35% are burning from carbs. 5% are burning from protein. All right, we don't want to burn the protein also, that's good. Now, if we ate a balanced diet, meaning that we're getting equal parts of calories from protein, carbs, and fats, 33% each, then because you're burning 60% of your calories from fat, you're going to run out of calories from fat in your body first. All right, we're still alive. All right, when we're hydrated and our blood sugar is stable, we're going to continue burning fat at that 60% rate. So you run out of fat from food, your body goes, hey, I still need fat. Where am I going to get that from? It lines up your secondary source, which is your body fat. It'll start pulling right from your body fat, you guys. So all day long, as long as you're hydrated, as long as your blood sugar is stable, we're going to talk about that blood sugar in a second, you will burn fat. Even if your metabolism is a little on the slower side, your basal metabolic rate isn't that high, you're still burning fat at a slow rate. You know, as you build muscle, as you get more consistent with this whole process, your metabolism will speed up. As we stabilize all your metabolic functions, it gets faster and faster. And even when you're resting, if you're hydrated and your blood sugar is stable, you'll burn calories, you'll burn fat faster and faster. All right? Now here's the beautiful thing. Once you start working out, we're resistance training, we're pumping up the muscles, right? We're keeping the heart rate in the low intensity zone, which is 60 to 75% of your max heart rate. Usually it's about 110 to 135 BPM if you're watching on one of your watches. Or if you're up on our screen here, we use the orange. If your name is in the orange block, that means you're in that fat burning zone. That's low intensity. Your body's burning calories at a similar ratio, except 3 times faster than resting. So this is how you're gonna get a lot of results. I don't know why people are leaving. This is the good stuff. Kim, Rosemary, this is why y'all are killing it. So this is why it's important. We always talk about take plenty of breaks. Don't let your heart rate get too high, because as soon as you pass up that number out of low intensity and you get above that like 135-ish range, start breaking into 140 and above, you jump into that high intensity zone immediately. This is the teal. Oh, too far. This is the teal in our workouts up on the TV screen. All right, now your fat burning just dropped to almost a third. If you're eating a balanced diet, if you split your whole workout there, you would never run out of fat from food. If you never run out of fat from food, then how is your body going to kick into burning body fat? That secondary source is never called for. All right, so there's one downfall, is you don't get the result. And then we're gonna talk about this more in a minute, but if you're burning 75%, or especially if you go super high intensity, so you burn even less fat and then even more carbs, if you're burning 75 or 95% of your calories from carbs, you're gonna run out of carbohydrates in your body very, very fast. I'm talking about between 10 and 30 minutes, carbs are gone. You'll feel a little shaky, maybe get the itch going on. You'll feel sometimes nauseous, irritability, fatigue. Those are all like symptoms of this. Your body is going to shut down. You're no longer stable. You're going to shut down burning fat because your body is going to start dipping into your blood sugar. Once you run out of carbs, the secondary source is blood sugar. Right? You dip into your blood sugar, you make your blood sugar get low. We'll talk about this more in a minute, but results are done for the day. All right? You literally have ruined the whole day. You're going to get very, very minimal results. You may get a little stronger, a little more endurance from that workout, but as far as your fat burning and your weight loss results, they're gone. The high intensity zones should only be thought of in a weight loss journey as damage control. All right, let's say you ate a big old bowl of Reese Puffs last night. All right, all those sugars, and then you got up this morning, you had 6 a.m. boot camp. All right, that's when you want to go hard. You ate all those sugars, they're going to store in your liver. You're going to have about 24 hours right here in your liver. They're going to sit there, and you got 24 hours to use them. All right, if you, within that 24 hours, the next morning you come in here and you bust out some high intensity exercise, yes, you're going to use those. They're going to be gone out of your liver. Your liver will never store them as fat. That's a great thing. However, if you eat those Reese Puffs or anything else that's high in carbs or sugar, and they sit in your liver, and in 24 hours you do not come in here and get your HIIT workout, your high intensity workout, then your liver is going to start actively turning all those carbohydrates into body fat. That is how we gain weight, is we eat too many sugars and then we don't work them off. All right, so if you eat the sugars, that's how you need to know that within 24 hours you need to hit the high intensity. You hear me yell this all the time in our boot camp classes. If you had that cheat meal, you're not skipping the cardio, you're hitting those jumping jacks right now. If you've been eating clean, skip the jumping jack. Literally, skipping the jumping jacks keeps you in that low intensity zone when you focus on primarily resistance training. If you add the cardio, that's whenever you start getting up in here. I designed this whole program out here so that every day, it doesn't matter what your diet's been like, you can think objectively and go, I know what my diet's been like, and I'm either going to work out this way or this way. And you can change the workouts based off of what you need. All 28 people, if our class was full, could do that, and our program would work for them. Right? Understanding that is a huge part of getting results, because a lot of people eat clean, they diet very, very well, and then they come in here and they work out as hard as they can, but they get that high intensity, and then they, boom, blood sugar plummets, they get no results. 3 months later, they're like, why am I trying as hard as I freaking can and nothing's happening? I'm so frustrated, and they quit. This is something I hate to witness, but I see it way too often because we overtrain and undereat. Right? Connecting some dots here. Using a heart rate monitor is the only way to be sure what your heart rate is. The ones that we offer get 2 seconds. It takes 2 seconds to pop up there on the TV. We made them free. There's no reason not to use it anymore. The ones on the watches sometimes can take 15 to 30 seconds to update, so you're not getting the instantaneous reading. Again, resting is the gray, low intensity would be the orange. This would be the high intensity endurance, and this would be high intensity sprint. Red is no go. We don't want to go there. You can get complications there. All right. Now, this is the most important one, and this is my favorite one to talk about here, is stabilizing your blood sugar. All right, take a second to look over what we got here. Representation, number one, this is going to be an entire day from the time you wake up here at the start, as we go through the day, to the time you go to bed, and then hopefully 7 or 8 hours after that. And then right here, that would just loop back and start our day again. Now, humans' healthy blood sugar is between 72 and 110 milligrams per deciliter. As long as you are within these lines through here, your blood sugar is stable. And remember, I said as long as you're hydrated and your blood sugar is stable, you are burning fat. So this is a big deal here. The first lines that I'm about to bring out here is for a healthy, balanced, and eating regular throughout the day. This is ideal, what we would like our blood sugar to be like. I'm going to talk through this for a second. You wake up, you eat breakfast. Because you ate breakfast, your blood sugar goes up. All right, now this is for a morning workout. Let's imagine you're working out from 6 to 7 a.m. You woke up at 5, you ate a little snacky, you got up there, blood sugar, good. All right, you're set up for the workout. Now, because you've been eating clean, you stayed in the orange zone, just like this line suggests. You stay in your fat burning zone the entire workout. You don't burn very many carbs, so your blood sugar wasn't affected very much. Maybe a couple times you jumped up in that teal, but you controlled that. Because of that, your blood sugar was stable. Now, you eat 20 minutes after the workout because you ate a big meal, 300, 400, 500 calories of predominantly carbs and protein. You held your fats to around 5 or 10 grams of fat maximum, all right, keeping them low. Because you ate that meal right here 20 minutes after the workout, then your blood sugar is going to go up. Because your blood pressure is high after the workout, and because your blood sugar was in a downward trend, after you eat those calories, blood sugar goes up, but it's going to use them very quickly because it's a vacuum effect. Your muscles are going to pull in, your liver is going to pull those nutrients in very fast. You're going to run out. After a couple hours, that will stabilize and you'll get low again. Then it's time for lunch. All right, you eat lunch, your blood sugar goes up a little bit, a few hours go by, drops. You eat a snack, you eat dinner. All right, blood sugar will drop a little bit. When you go to bed, metabolism does operate at a little bit slower speed, so you won't burn calories as fast. You will coast through the evening with stable blood sugar as you're sleeping. And you wake up right at that same point the next day. It's beautiful, right? When you do this properly, you are stable 24 hours a day. You are burning fat 24 hours a day. Even if it's at a slow rate, you're going to get somewhere. All right, now, there's a mistake people make is they skip breakfast. Number one, even if you didn't work out, if you skip breakfast, some point in your day where you cross that black line right there, that's where your body shuts down and it goes, nope, I'm not doing anything. You didn't feed me, so I'm just chilling now, kicking back. You can't burn fat. If you drop below that line, you gotta wait all the way until your body recognizes that it's stable. And it's gotta be stable for hours before it's gonna allow you to burn fat again. It can't be stable for 5 minutes and then your body kick back in. It's got to know, all right? It's just like you don't get handed $1 and be like, oh, yeah, I got money now. No, you got to see it in your bank account. You got to witness it being there. You got to feel good about it, all right? So not only is that keeping us from burning fat, normally what happens is down here, you're also getting hungry. That's where cravings start kicking in. Your body's like, hey, I need some sugar. Give it. I need that sugar now. So then what do you go for? Carbs. Vending machine, candy, all right? That causes a spike of glucose in the bloodstream. And when you get above that line, that's when you're storing. That's whenever you get a backup in your liver and potentially your liver turns those sugars into body fat, all right? And then because of that, your insulin sensitivity gets all out of whack. You get another valley, you crash, low energy, hopefully eat dinner. Same things that happen. You already ruined your day when this happened back here, all right? So this whole system of up and down is going to happen. And then overnight, your body hopefully will reset where you can wake up, have another chance to maybe get it right in the orange. Starts breakfast is a huge factor in the day. Unless you're doing proper intermittent fasting and intermittent fasting is right for you, don't just do it just to do it, all right? Unless you've had a professional say, hey, you are a good candidate for that, then don't do it. Otherwise, you should be eating breakfast. Now, let's say you did eat breakfast, this green line. You eat breakfast, but this literally everything is the exact same as the orange line, except for after the workout, you didn't eat your post-workout meal. So you ate a little snack in the morning, but then after the workout, you didn't eat. Because your blood pressure was up and your blood sugar was on its way down, that trend keeps happening faster and faster. Your blood sugar eventually is going to cross that line again. And then even if you nail it the rest of the day, you're constantly battling that over and under that line. The entire day, you're not going to get results. You're going to have lower energy levels. You're going to have susceptibility for cravings. Your willpower is going to be affected. Just even if you don't make any progress at all, not only that, but it's going to be just harder to not gain weight. Right? You're tested at that point. So that post-workout meal, super valuable. You got to eat that. And just so y'all know, most meals, these are all around like 3 hours apart from each other. If you can eat every 3 hours or so, you're giving yourself a great chance at stabilizing your blood sugar, especially if you're doing what this says, eating regularly, eating every 3 hours, and eating healthy foods, real foods, not just packaged and processed crap, and balanced meals, getting healthy fats, carbs, and proteins in your meals, right? That protein especially. Right, now lastly, if you woke up, skipped breakfast, but then did everything else right, even if you don't work out here, this is what's happening. Same thing as not eating the post-workout meal if you worked out. Your blood sugar gets a little low, there goes your results for the day, and you teeter-tottering all the way throughout the day, over and under, over and under, over and under. You're hungry, you're tired, you're irritable, ugh, nobody likes you, and you can't get no results. Why even try? That's the process a lot of people go through. I don't want to see you in it, Kim, Rosemary. I know y'all are doing great. But I hope this does paint a picture that eating too much at one time, what that causes with that blue spike there, or skipping meals. That's what I'm most guilty of, is I get busy or my appetite isn't crazy sometimes. I'll skip a meal from time to time and it messes up my entire day. So we all have our weakness and what we tend to go into. Just got to fight that, try to eat 4 or 5, maybe 6 times a day tops. Eat about every 3 hours. Keep it clean, keep it balanced. It doesn't have to be rocket science. You don't have to track every macro and write down every calorie that you ate. Some of this can be just common sense and good habits. All right, let's see here, I got chat. It's hard if you don't plan ahead. Yes, it is very, very difficult if you don't plan ahead. I will let you know though, if you practice all these concepts, then you get to a point where you get to think critically and you don't have to rely on planning. For instance, myself, if I don't have a meal, I'm leaving Edgebody and I'm going to LA Fitness to work out because I've been here all day. I want to get out of here for a minute. On the way there, there is a Qdoba, all right? I forget to bring a meal all the time. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll stop in Qdoba and I'll go, okay, I'm about to go work out. I know I need carbs and protein. Before my workout, I need around 300 or 400 calories. I need to minimize my fat. All right. If you want to know why you minimize the fat, go back and watch the macronutrients and organizing macronutrients nutrition classes. That'll answer your questions on that. So what I do is when I think critically, when I go into Qdoba, I need 300 or 400 calories right off the bat. That's a kid's bowl, not a regular bowl. Number 2, I need carbs and protein. So I'm going, hey, can I get some rice, beans, chicken? I'm going to double the chicken so that I can keep a nice even ratio. I'm going to avoid the veggies because they've been tossed around in oil. That's fat. I'm going to avoid the queso, the sour cream, the guacamole, the cheese. I'm not eating any of those because I'm trying to keep my fat content down. I might put a little pico de gallo on there and some hot sauce, and there's my pre-workout meal. I didn't plan. I forgot my meal, but because I understand how to think critically and what my body needs, I understand what macronutrients are available in those foods and how much it is. Granted, this takes a long time to practice. It takes months of practicing and reading your labels, realizing that half a cup of rice is 0 fat, 22 carbs, and 0 protein. I just know that now. I know that there's half a cup of rice in the Qdoba Kids Bowl. It takes time to learn all that, but you get to a point in your life where you don't have to plan anymore. That's when things get fun. That's whenever you can go live your life and still be able to make the decisions you need to. For now, stick to the planning, definitely. I'm glad that you are planning. I would even start to, though, plan or when you don't have a plan. Get you some go-tos out there in the community. What I just told you, that kids bowl, that's a great one. And that's a pre-workout for me, but for a post-workout, if you're leaving here after the lunchtime burn class and you don't know what you're gonna eat, a 400-calorie kids bowl from Qdoba would be a great post-workout meal for me. That exact meal I just said, Kim and Rosemary, both of you all would thrive with that right after a workout. Right? It would stabilize your blood sugar, give you the carbs and protein you need, the right amount of calories at the right time. Now, if you didn't work out and you're just out and about, you don't need so many carbs, but you need a little fat in there. Maybe you get a taco salad from there. All right, they give you a bowl of lettuce, you put your chicken and your beans on. Then you can add a little bit of cheese and maybe a little scoop of guacamole because now you can have the fat. You did a salad instead of the rice and beans, so it's a little lower carb, but now you have balance because it's lunch and you're not right after a workout. That's the other side to critical thinking, right? It's just another scenario. Those are all part of a different lesson plan. I'm glad you brought it up, but I'm gonna keep it moving here. Unless that was the end. Is that the end of this one? Okay, it is. So if you have any more questions, I will definitely answer them. It looks like we got wrapped up a little bit early here. All right, guys, here's what I'm gonna do. Y'all know I'm gonna make this available on YouTube so you can watch it again later. If you think of any questions, text me. Let's not hesitate. If you can't text me at that moment, write it down so you don't forget for later. We will definitely get your questions answered. You got one right here. All right, just need to practice and keep going over these videos. Definitely. And I'm all about best practices. I would make it a point once a week to, you've been attending these regularly, but go back and review another one once a week. You do that, in 2 or 3 months from now, you're going to have graduated into a whole nother level of critical thinking and production with your food. All right. You're very welcome, Rosemary. Thank you for thanking me. That's awfully sweet. I'll be around here if y'all need anything else. Keep up the good work, Kim. Very nice job on the alligator crawl today. Just so you know, the entire turf line is 32 yards. So you made it about, what, 8 yards today. Keep up the good work. See y'all soon. Have a good night.